What's up everyone, my name is Kelsey, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing the A-Spec Book Tag. The original tag was created by Kitty at Jellyfable, and I'll link the original video down below. If you're not familiar, A-Spec is the spectrum of asexuality and aromanticism, and all of these prompts are based on the asexual and aromantic pride flags. In the original video, Kitty goes into a little more detail about the pride flags and where the colors come from and the history of them, so you should definitely check her video out too. So the first prompt is Asexual Flag. Name your favorite book with an asexual character. And for this one, I'm going with Victor Vale from the Villains Duology by V.E. Schwab. Victor is canon asexual. It's not on page until the second book, but it's definitely in there. If you're not familiar, Vicious, the first book, tells the story of two gifted college roommates who, for their senior thesis, decide to do an experiment about people with extraordinary abilities, and Victor and Eli go a little too far. It's told in two timelines: the past timeline where Victor and Eli are in college and doing this experimentation, and the future timeline, which is 10 years in the future, where one of them has just gotten out of prison and is hunting the other one down. So it's super intense, very exciting. One of my favorite books of all time, book series of all time. And Victor Vale is one of my favorite characters of all time. Everyone in this book is like morally gray. There's no good guys and bad guys. They're all bad guys, but you root for them anyways. The second prompt is Aromantic Flag. Name your favorite book with an aromantic character in it. For this one, I'm going with a book that I just finished reading called Hull Metal Girls by Emily Skrutsky, and one of the main perspective characters in this book is Aro Ace. But Hull Metal Girls is a YA, I think it's YA, young adult sci-fi book set in space, on spaceships, after Earth has been, all of the resources on Earth have been used up. So they set off to find a new habitable planet, and they've been on these ships for 300 years looking for a new place to live. And that's where our story starts. So we follow two main perspective protagonists. Okay, next question. Purple. Name a book with an A-Spec character that you are anticipating reading because of the book community. And I have two answers for this. The first is Tarnished Are the Stars by Rosie Thor. And I don't have synopses for either of these. But Tarnished Are the Stars doesn't come out until October. And then another anticipated read is Switchback by Danica Stone, and this one comes out in May. I know that Tarnished Are the Stars is a young adult fantasy or sci-fi, and Switchback is a young adult like adventure story. I'm pretty sure they're like camping or hiking or something and get trapped in the wilderness and have to survive. Next prompt is Green. Name your favorite book that doesn't have a romance or where the romance is unimportant to the story. And for this, I'm going with The Martian by Andy Weir. I mean, everyone knows what The Martian is about, but if you don't, it's about a space or a mission to Mars that goes wrong, and our main character ends up trapped alive on the surface of Mars and has to survive several years until they can make the trip back to rescue him. It's super intense, but very sciencey, and there's not a significant romance. I think there is like a little romantic thing back on Earth, but for most of the book we're following our main character who is on Mars alone. No romance. Next is Black. Name your favorite book with fantasy creatures. And for this one, I'm going with, I'll preface this by saying I don't read a lot of books with fantasy creatures, so this is the closest thing I could think of, and it's Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. Our main character, Mia Colrare, has this sort of shadow creature that follows her around and takes the shape of a cat. Next is Gray. Name a character who is never stated to be Aro or Ace, but who you strongly headcanon to be A-Spec. Okay, this might be unpopular, but I'm going with Henry Chang from the Raven King or the Raven Cycle books. There's a scene in the Raven King where one of our main characters, Blue, says to Henry something like, I don't have to remind you that I'm not available, right? And Henry replies, oh, of course not. I'm Henry sexual anyways. And I just can't help but think that I want to take that literally. So in my mind, Henry Chang is asexual. And the last prompt is white. Name your favorite platonic relationship from a book. And I have a lot for this. So first I'm going to go with Ransom and Holster from Check Please, and this is originally a webcomic, so it's a little comic series about our main character Biddy, who is on a hockey team at Samuel University, and Ransom and Holster are like hockey besties. And there are scenes in this book, because they're so cute. Yes. It's called Hockey Shit with Ransom and Holster, where they just talk to each other and explain random hockey terms. They're so cute. Their little friendship. I love it so much. I also have Ronin and Blue from the Raven Cycle, because at the beginning of these books, like, they don't really get along. They like sort of grudgingly hang out with each other for the sake of the whole group, and throughout the books they start to like each other a little more, and they have a few things in common, and I just love that relationship. Okay, one more is the relationship between Darrow and Severo in Red Rising. And this gets even more intense in Golden Sun because they come to trust each other a little more in like a big way. Severo is one of my favorite characters from these books, and I love their relationship so much, and I'm not alone. Okay, that's it for the A-Spec Book Tag. I want to thank Kitty again for making this and for putting on the whole A-Spec April readathon. I really enjoyed myself, and I love that it exists. So definitely check her video out, and I'll leave the links for all the A-Spec April stuff down below too. I post book-related videos every Wednesday, and I've been vlogging for A-Spec April also, so those videos go up on Saturday. If you want to talk more, you can find my Twitter and Goodreads in the description box. If you like this video, hit like. If you want to see more, subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you next week.